Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So today I'm in a friend's account. He asked me to help him out. He gave me a couple specific goals he would like to focus on here. He wants to increase in-city production. He wants to gather better. And he also wants to join rallies more efficiently. He wants to save stamina. He wants to, get double drops. So basically looking at double drop generals, Cleopatra, Nathaniel Green, Bay Bars, and then all the farming generals, of course. So those are his three goals, basically. He wants this to be a high resource city. Who doesn't want lots of resources, especially with K40, right? It's a whole world of hurt trying to push for that. So this is something I actually really enjoy doing. I do like going into other keeps, just taking a look around, and it's all very basic stuff, and it's really quick fixes. And sometimes it just kills me to go in and see the small errors people make, and then when you play for years, that just magnifies. So you want to get off to the right start. This is something I do like doing. If you are interested in discussing things like that, me helping you out, let me know. Drop a line in Discord or look up the email on the YouTube channel. And no problem. I think this is something everybody can learn from. So whether it's your own account, an alt account, these are three things that we all should be doing. So first thing I'm going to do is take a look, as I always do. Let's look in the art treasure, and yep, this one is activated. Mona Lisa's activated. Basically everything here that is needed for what he wants is activated. March speed, that sort of stuff. So next thing to look at is basically the generals. So let's see who he has for. So he has Shajar for the walls. That's perfect. Let's see who he has for gathering. So he has Queen Jindiok. This would be a good one to increase to level 22. Then you can enhance that 4-star. So it needs about 2 million points. Let's see if he has that. Perfect. So there we go. And and of course, no medals. Maybe there's some in the inventory, but let's get to that in a minute. So there's Constance. So I will let him increase their experience and get them to 22. And that will just be a note I'll make. What does he have for double generals? So I see a double book on Robert Lee, double skill book on Li Jing. There's a Bay Bars, and that's it. So 3 generals. So he could pretty much join with 2 or 3 generals at a time and farm with 2 or 3 at a time as well. So that's not bad. So these generals right here, these farming generals, they're going to need skill books. This is unacceptable. You cannot do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 farming generals. Let's look at skill books. I'll do one of them just to show, and he can do the rest. So basically, he has a very limited amount of skill books. So what I'm going to do here before we do this, we're going to look at the inventory and see. So those are warlords. He has no hydras and no Viking chests to open, which will give wheel chips to go on the Wheel of Fortune and find those skill books. Next thing we see here is a lot of materials, and we're going to open some of this because we're going to need them for what I'm planning to do. That should be enough. Now let's just look and see if he has any Wheel of Fortune tokens. There's a few. Let's go into the Wheel of Fortune, and unfortunately it looks like he can't play too much. Looks like that is all done, and I'm just going to look and see if he has any metal chests. He does have a few, but that's not enough to get done what he wanted to get done. So let's try and apply those skill books to one of these generals. This is not a food positive account. So it eats food at a higher rate. And I am going to suggest to him maybe he gets rid of some troops or makes a decision on what to do with that. So I added a stone book because it has the most amount of books out of the ones that he has. Actually, I was wrong. Ore has the most. So now we go to lumber last and back to stone. And we're really hoping we don't lose a lumber because we only have one of, oh, we got it. Perfect. So now we can go up to the top and add the level 4s, and that's good. So I could go to another one here and try and add more farming books. So ore has the most. You should always go with that one first, as that's going to likely get replaced by something else. Wow, look at that luck, eh? That was something else. And that's it for those books. And he has one more left that has to be done. I'm feeling really lucky. I got pretty lucky there. So let's see what we got going on here. Can we keep the luck going? And looks like I ruined it. There is a, let's try a level 3. I don't like doing that. Wow, that worked. Perfect. So I did get lucky, and that will really improve his farming right there. So now let's look at the farming general's gears. So he has champion's gear and a bow, and that bow does ore, and it matches the ore book. Perfect. This is a stone weapon, and it has a stone book, and he has champion's gear. Ore again, low ore, so got to get that one up to match it if you're going to target those. And champions again with ore, and again needs to get that ore up. And another one with ore and an ore book and champions. So he already has good farming. So let's look at the rally generals. So double ring, that is the number one thing we want here. And he has 4 pieces of dragon gear, which will reduce monster attack and defense 10%, which will help out the big guys who are rallying. It will also, and let's look at the speed. That's another thing we want. So these boots have a march speed, and there's no march speed up there, but that's okay. Ideally on these books, I'm not going to play around with this because there's a shortage on books here, but ideally you would have a march speed book on here to go with the luck book. I'm going to recommend once he gets those books up, that's what he should be doing. Let's look at the next one here. So there is a double ring. This march speed to monsters, march speed, he needs one more piece of dragon gear on here. We're going to craft that for him right here because we want to get that up to help the rest of the alliance. And this guy has no dragon's gear, so he does have a double items drop ring. So we're going to craft this guy some equipment to basically try, oh, this one has march speed on the bow, so we're going to leave that. And I think what I'm going to do is craft 2 rings, so both of these guys get a little bit luckier, and then that will give Li Jing 4 pieces of dragon gear, and then Baybars will do the other 3 missing ones here and the ring. So let's get that done. Oh, also one more thing to note here. This is good. Baybars is the luckiest general. He cannot take a luck book because he has his built-in luck book of 25%. So he also has the spirit beast that will drop, the bird of hurricane that will double drop. Let's look at that actually. Double drop rate from monsters, it's only 6%. Maybe we can increase that for him as well. Does he have experience books to do this? I think we're going to fall short. Okay, but maybe he can smelt it, and he needs the metals for his other troops. Okay, so I will craft 1 piece of that gear. I will craft 1 piece of those gears that I was talking about. And let's see if we could put a duty officer on here to speed it up. And then I'll craft the other ones offline, or I'll tell him to do it on his own. So let's look. We want the lucky, and he doesn't have, of course he doesn't. Let's open these chests. I think he might have some scrolls available here. So these are dragon scrolls. Did he get any rings? Yes, he did. 7. Perfect. Apparently they're not as hard to get as the Achaemenid ones. Those ones are very hard if you are not into that at that stage yet. So let's craft 1 of these. Perfect. Speed it up. And we will apply that to right here. And perfect. Now he has minus 10% monster attack and defense, which will really help out the person who is attacking if the whole alliance does that. Just one guy doing this doesn't help too much. I'm actually going to do a video on this. Someone told me about this. So I am planning to do a video coming up. I think this weekend works best on World Boss, on Dragon's Gear for debuffs on monsters. Someone in the comments told me that this really works well if you put your sub-generals with Dragon's Gear. So for me, because I'm a stronger player, it's hard for me to get losses on certain bosses without really manipulating my stuff. So I'm going to do it on World Boss and test this out and do some solos with Dragon's Gear on my subs and see if that helps the damage and helps me move up in the damage that you do to the World Boss, basically. I don't think it'll help me out in the rankings too much. Everyone above me is well above me. But anyways, other things that he has to do here is look at his resource fields. And that ring is sitting there. I guess maybe it lagged out. I don't know. Anyways, so looking at his resource fields to analyze, are they all maximum? So he's a K 32. And looks like some of these fields need to get up. I see some 25s, 27s, 26s, oh, a 17. Yeah, these definitely need to be improved. So this is something I'm going to suggest to him. And other than that, this is basically going to be the best setup he has for a while. And then in the future, when he basically joins enough rallies, gets enough gold, gets enough medals, maybe he can start to upgrade some of those either farming generals or gathering generals in the tavern and start searching. Also looks like he's kind of low on gems right now as well. I guess there's a few in here, but not enough to do a serious search in the tavern. So this is something I actually enjoy doing for people, going in, helping them out early stages of the game, especially really important. Make sure you're on the right track. Drop me a line in the Discord or look up the email on the YouTube. Let me know if you're interested in that. So this is Evony with Genghis. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.